Alright, hello, I am Dreygen, and we are here with Path of Exile. I am going to attempt to teach you a little bit about the game in the opening stages. This is not going to involve any advanced tactics or anything of that sort. This is just a quick playthrough of how the first act will go as you start the game up your first time. So, I recommend for your first character to be somebody very beefy or tanky, like someone like, say, a Marauder. However, I realize that, not everybody likes to melee. So what I'm going to do in this tutorial is show you a little bit with the Templar, because he can do a little bit of melee and a little bit of spellcasting, so that possibly I can get the best of both worlds out of it to teach you a little bit more. I'm going to create my character in Legacy League, because that's where all my stuff is, and I can possibly teach you a little bit of things with the things that I already have. So let's get right into it. Let's do Dreygen Toot for tutorial. Dreygen Toot. And we'll get right into the game. Alright, so the first thing that happens is you're washed up ashore on the exiled island, called Rayclast, or Ryclast. And you have a nice little wooden, like driftwood weapon for you right here. So it's your default weapon, it's got 3 sockets in it. And you have this little dying exile here who, whatever, he couldn't make it. And then a zombie eats his face off. And what you want to do is you want to kill the zombie, avenge your friend's death. And what he does is he drops a skill. So I'm going to pick that skill up, and whatever it is, depending on, it's Glacial Hammer for the Templar, so you put it in a red. Red goes with red, green goes with green, blue goes with blue. So now we have this little starting area to go over. As far as leveling up in it is concerned, you probably only really need to hit level 2. Besides that, it doesn't really matter how much you level in here. So you can do it. You can go straight through it and rush through it and beat the boss at the end here, or you can just you can grind a little bit, hit level 2, which is, I'm gonna go ahead and hit just level 2, and then I'm gonna go and charge through the rest of it, just so you can see the opening area and how the game plays a little bit, and then I will go into the first town, see all the items are dropping, and you can hit Z to turn that off or on, and then if you hit Z to turn it off, you can hold Alt, I believe, to see what's on the ground, by yourself. But I like having everything on. So back to the killing, and I will explain the flasks shortly. As you can see, I'm getting hit, so I will use a flask and it will go down, and as I kill enemies, the charges will go up on it. You have a certain number of charges on these, but they refresh as you kill enemies. So that's how you refill the charges on your potions and things. You don't have to actually buy more. And, just classic ARPG stuff. You left click to win, and right click to use an ability to win faster. Just for now, anyway. I'm missing a lot. I forgot the Templar does miss a lot. So we're just going through and killing things very slowly, get an idea of how the game works. Pretty soon we'll be getting into things like, the golden monsters that are kind of like champion type monsters and things like that. And they're a little bit tougher, they have specific stats that make them tougher, and they'll have a bunch of guys around them to make them tougher. We'll go into that a little bit later. But for now, we're just, going with the opening here, just trying to test out the waters and trying to figure out how this game works, right? What do we do? How do we get there? And what's a good idea? Okay, so here's level 2. I'm not going to do anything to show you the skill tree just yet. The skill tree can be overwhelming, but it can also be quite easy to navigate. You just have to make sure you're in the right mindset. Okay, I did say I was just going to hit level 2 and then I was going to go. So let's just go straight to the boss here. This is your first major obstacle. His name is Hillock, and he's a giant, I believe he's a blacksmith. I don't know about historically. I think one of the swords that is stabbed through him is actually one that he made himself. So basically what you want to do is you want to go man mode on him and just hit him as hard as you can, depending on what class you are. You may need to kite him if you're a ranger or a witch. And once he gets to half, he actually has an invincibility timer. When he pulls that sword out of his chest, he's actually unattackable. So you just kind of have to wait till he gets that out. And he gains a little bit of extra HP once he does that. So once he's out, you know, swinging at you, he does a little bit more damage. And you just gotta hit him. Make sure you're using your potions and you're not, you know, you keep an eye on your life and stuff like that. Okay, and he dropped a bunch of garbage. Okay, so we're not gonna pick any of that up. Here we go to the first town. Now, once we get in here, I will explain to you how the skill system works. Like I said, it can be very overwhelming your first time around, but if you look at it correctly, it's really not so bad. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into our tree by hitting P, and I'm just going to show you like all of this tree. This is all the tree. You can go anywhere you want on this tree. It's very overwhelming looking. You know, your eyes go cross-eyed a little bit if you look at it like this, but it has a zoom feature. So what you want to do is you want to zoom all the way in, and look, here's your little home with the home part of the tree. So you get two choices at first, and you get the choice of either getting mana regeneration or melee damage. So basically it's asking you, do you want to, you know, do spell casting, or do you want to do melee? So once you make a decision there, I am going to make the decision to go melee. I don't want to cast spells. I mean, I'll cast spells a little bit to show you, but I think I want to go melee. So we're going to put a point into the melee damage. So now my choices become, once I have the melee damage, do I also want to cast spells, or do I want to go into more melee damage? And once I get to this, like if I say, okay, I want to go more melee damage. So now my choices become, do I want to do two-handed melee damage, or do I want to do one-handed melee damage? So if you take these decisions one point at a time, it's really not so bad. And then, you know, for the advanced characters, you can actually pull out of this tree entirely and go out on a path of your own. And once you figure out the tree a little bit more, that's when you can start to, you know, scroll out just a little bit and be like, oh, okay, so I could kind of like go down here for more one-handed or something like that, you know. But when you're first starting out, what you really want to do is you want to like focus, you want to tunnel vision these skills to begin with, you know. And once you get out, you know, in here, you know, you're like, well, do I want to go with some life, and then do I want to come out here, or do I want to go get some energy shield, or do I want to get some elemental damage? You know, it's just very little choices. If you look at it very slowly, you can see your choices. Like even once you get to life, you're like, okay, now that I've got some life and some melee damage, I think I can still go up and start doing some casting stuff. So really, I mean, you just want to really just slowly take your time and read everything that's around you rather than read everything at once. And you know, you can figure things out that way. Turn this off. It's stupid to have it on to begin with. And so yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be showing you guys throughout this tutorial. And then I'm going to show you a few combat techniques and a few combat explanations, and show you guys how to, you know, survive basically the first act of the game. That's going to do it for me for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If I get some positive feedback, I'll probably continue this series. I'm hoping to build it over a course of the entire act, so that I can just kind of show you generally what to be doing as you level through the first act. So I'm going to try to cut it a little bit short here, guys. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time, possibly.